Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being with us tonight. I'd like to welcome you to this amazing event that we're going to have for you all today. A couple housekeeping rules while we have people tuning in. If you are like me and you have to ask your question or you will forget it, I will encourage you all to go ahead and type in your question in the Q&A section in the comments parts. We're gonna have a couple different people from our civic engagement department. So shout out civic gang, and they're gonna be in there answering those questions as well. So please, if you are like me and you are very forgetful, please just go ahead and put your comment in the comment section right now. That way, when we get to the Q&A portion, we will be able to answer those questions. So without any further ado, let me add my presentation. Give me 1 second. What is happening to my presentation? There it is. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So let us begin. Property tax assistance exemption workshop. Before we do anything, we want to let you know who you're actually dealing with today. No, this is not me. This is the assessor, Cook County Assessor Fritz Kagi. Ladies and gentlemen, this is who your Cook County Assessor is. Yes, you might have a specific township assessor, but Fritz Kagi is who is the assessor over the entire county. So what are the responsibilities of the assessor's office? There are a lot. There are tons of different things that our office actually does. I'm just going to go over a couple of them, and then some of the things we don't do. So first, it's our job to properly assess 1.9 million different properties. That's close to 2 million different properties. And we do it with a little bit over 200 different employees, right? So that's a milestone in itself. These values, we don't make them up. We don't shoot darts at a dartboard. We don't pull things out of a hat. We actually use what's called a mass appraisal system. Our office also kind of helps you with your tax bill by letting you apply, and then, depending on if you meet the requirements or not, for different exemptions, also known as discounts on your property tax bill. We also run what's called the appeal process. That's something else. We're not really going to get into that tonight, but this is something that we do. But here's what we don't do. We do not issue your tax bill. When you pay your property taxes, you are not paying the Cook County Assessor's Office, right? We do not come up with your tax rates or the tax levies in your area, your specific townships, and we are not responsible for your state equalizer either, right? So what do we do? Assess your value, assess your property, give you discounts or exemptions as long as you meet the requirements for them, and then let you file for your appeal. There are some key policy changes that we're going to go over, ladies and gentlemen. So this is going to be a little bit of a different kind of presentation. I know that if you are watching this and you're used to seeing me, I do things a certain way, but we're going to do things a little bit different this time because we have some new information. So very quickly, the homeowner's exemption. This is for anyone who owned and occupied their property as of January 1, 2022. So if you owned and occupied your property January 1, 2022, you qualify for this exemption. This exemption can also be prorated for people who have a new property or a new construction, right? It was being built, so you were unable to own and occupy January 1. If that's you, go ahead and let us know, and we will prorate this exemption discount for you. Fun fact, this exemption is automatically renewed going forward. That means you don't have to apply for it again. Senior citizen exemption. This is for anyone who was born in 1957 or before. You must own and occupy the property anytime within 2022. And yes, this exemption is automatically renewed also. So homeowners exemption and the senior citizen exemption are automatically renewed, assuming you apply for them correctly and on time, and you actually qualify and receive them. Exemption policy change. With my DJ button. The senior freeze now has a new name. It is called the Low Income Senior Citizen Assessment Freeze. This is not automatically renewed. You must apply annually because it is income based. But for the process of this exemption workshop that we're doing online, I'm just going to refer to it to the senior freeze so that we don't confuse anybody. But it is now called the Low Income Senior Citizen Assessment Freeze. In order to qualify, you must have been born in 1957 or before. You cannot make more than $65,000 as a total household income. You must have owned and occupied the property for 2 consecutive January 1s. What does that mean? January 1, 2021 and January 1, 2022. So you just want to make sure. And again, this exemption is not auto renewed because it is income based. So something else we want to bring to your attention is if you are a part of the Aid to the Aged, Blind, and Disabled program, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program, the Benefit Access Program, or the Senior Citizen Real Estate Tax Deferral Program, you do not need to provide us with your income, assuming you can provide proof that you are actually a part of these programs. So when you look at your application at the very bottom, right, left-hand corner, you'll see where those programs are actually listed and where you can click or check yes or mark yes, you are part of this program or not, and then just the information you need to provide for us. Another exemption policy change is for the persons with disability exemption. So previously, this exemption, you could only receive it if you took your P-tax form, a document that we give you that you give to your doctor, only to your doctor. That was the only person that could fill this out. Your optometrist cannot fill this out. But the new policy change is we are now allowing optometrists to fill this out on your behalf. So that's fun and amazing news, actually, because now more people can take advantage of this discount. Also, this exemption is automatically renewed, but it is not because of COVID. It is because of new state legislation. In order to qualify, you must have been disabled or become disabled in the taxable year. So for what we're talking about, 2022, and you must have owned and occupied your property January 1 of the taxable year. So that's January 1, 2022. Another exemption policy change. There's a lot of them, guys. Veterans with disability exemption. This is no longer automatically renewed either. However, there's a asterisk there, right? There's a fun fact, right? So if you are a veteran who has a service-connected disability and you are permanently or totally disabled by and is 100% disabled per the VA, once you supply that information to us this year, you will no longer have to apply for your disabled veteran exemption again. So no, it is not automatically renewed, but it can be depending on the situation. Also, if a non-remarried surviving spouse of the disabled vet who had a service-connected disability certified by the VA applied for this exemption, like me, for example, I had this and I passed away, and my wife wants to take advantage of my exemption. One, she has to stay unmarried or not remarried. She cannot move, and she must have been a resident of Illinois when I passed away. So that's not really new-ish, kind of. It is, but we just want to draw more attention to it. Here is your your disability letter from the VA, and at the very bottom is where you would find your percentage of owner. Oh my gosh. At the very bottom is where you would find your percentage, your disability percentage, and if you are totally or permanently disabled, at the bottom we'll let you know that as well. In order to qualify for the disabled person exemption, you must be an Illinois resident who served as a member of the United States Armed Forces on active duty, state active duty, or a member of the Illinois National Guard, U.S. Reserve Forces, or honorably discharged. You have to have a service-connected disability of 30% or greater. So there are different tiers. If you are 30 to 49%, you get X removed off your tax bill. If you are 50 to 69%, you get X removed off your tax bill. If you're 70 to 100%, you don't pay property taxes at all, as long as your home is not worth more than $800,000. Some changes to this as well. Veterans who had multi-unit apartment buildings are going to start receiving a prorated exemption, right? So in the past, we had people who tried to get the exemption for the entire building, but they didn't own and occupy every unit in that building. So now um, that's just what we're doing. This isn't anything new. We're just highlighting this information, right? So your discount can only be applied to your specific unit. Units rented for 6 months or more are considered used for commercial purposes. So, like if you have a giant property where you have more units than a single, like 6 apartments or less, this is what we're talking about. Returning veterans exemption. This is a unique exemption. This is for anybody who is returning from active duty, and it's unique in the sense that it's a kind of like a 2-year exemption. It's for the year you return and for 1 year later, right? So to qualify, you must be a Illinois resident who have served as a member of the United States Armed Forces, Illinois National Guard, or Reserve Forces, returning from active duty with armed conflict in the United States of America. You must have owned and occupied your property as of January 1 for the taxable year, and what we're talking about is 2022. And no, this is not a auto renewed exemption, but it is a 2-year exemption, and that makes things less complicated. The long time exemption. This is for anyone who owned and occupied their property for 10 consecutive years. So this is January 1, 2012, all the way through January 1, 2022. Your total household income cannot be greater than 100,000, and your equalized assessed value must have increased significantly depending on where you live at. This is not automatically renewed. Our office actually does the math and sees who actually qualifies for this exemption, and then the application is then mailed out to you, and then you fill it out on your behalf. Those applications are going to be coming out soon. We don't have a very specific date yet, but they will be coming out soon. Home improvement exemption. This is for anyone who wants to do or create anything or some type of improvement on their property, some type of addition, right? The home improvement exemption kind of covers you for up to $75,000 in improvements, right? So let's do some math. If your home is worth $100,000 and you are doing improvements, we'll say $75,000, how much is your home worth now? $175,000. Well, with the home improvement exemption, you're actually covered that for that additional $75,000 for 4 years. So you won't see that actually added on to your value for another 4 years. Anything greater than that, though, let's say $76,000, you are responsible for the difference. In order to qualify, your home must be a Class 2, which is a residential property, and then our analyst will go in after you pull your permits, and all of that is submitted to our office to see what actually is happening. Are these improvements actually improving the property or not, right? When you guys are applying online for your exemptions, this is what you will see. You can go to cookcountyassessor.com, click exemptions, apply online, and then this is what will pop up. This is how you start your application. Once you are, well, actually, you will start your application. Before we continue, I just want to go over this, though, right? So we have some new policy changes, and we have 3 exemptions that automatically renew for you going forward. Those 3 are the homeowner exemption, the senior citizen exemption, and the person with disability exemption. We also have 2 exemptions that are kind of auto-renew, but with special stipulations, right? The veterans with disability exemption will auto-renew only for people who are 100% and are permanently disabled. And then the home improvement exemption, it's not that it auto-renews, it's just that it covers you for 4 years and you don't have to apply for it again. So it's a little different, a little unique. This is what your tax bill would look like. You get 2 tax bills a year. You get a blue one when it's cold outside, and you get a yellow one when it's warm outside. The blue one is 55% of the previous year's entire tax bill. So it's super easy to figure out what your first installment bill is going to be, because all you have to do is go, how much did I pay last year? Whatever that amount is, half plus a little, right? Or you can actually put it in your calculator if you want. Your second installment, it's separate and unique to itself, right? It's not 45% because the first one was 55%. They have nothing to do with each other. What's unique about the second installment is that is where all your discounts are listed. So bottom left-hand corner of your tax bill, you'll see tax calculator. And then you'll see a little portion we have here in red where it says total taxes before exemptions. And you have a list of exemptions. There is where you will see your discounts if you applied and qualified and received them. So it'll say homeowners exemption, X amount, senior citizen, X amount, senior freeze, returning veteran, disabled veteran, all of them will be listed there except for the long time exemption. The long time exemption will be listed under important messages on the right hand side of your tax bill. We get this question a lot. Hey, when I apply, will I get a confirmation? What will my confirmation look like? This is what your confirmation email will look like. You will get an email from our office. You have a filing ID. Print this, take a screenshot, tattoo it on your body somewhere. This is your information. This is how you know if your application was submitted or not. If you want to check your property's history, your exemption history, your appeal history, your assessment history, or kind of just anything pertaining to property taxes or properties in Cook County, I should say, go ahead and go to cookcountyassessor.com, and there you can literally go all through our website and get all kind of information, right? If you want to connect with us, the best way to connect with us would be to contact us directly. You can call us 312-443-7550. You will be speaking to an automated system, but once you put in your PIN number, you'll be directed to one of us. You can connect with us on social media. Guys, that is probably the best way I would encourage you to contact us. You can connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube, on LinkedIn. We're everywhere. Just find us, Cook County Assessor, right? You see our logo. That's going to be all of our branding everywhere. Every profile picture should have that, or a picture of the assessor on it. But go ahead and do that. What I do want to draw your attention to is this QR code that we have here. So if you have a cell phone, all you have to do is open your camera app, hover over the QR code, click the link that pops up, and from here you will be, I hope you can see this, probably not though because it's weird, but you can see our Linktree account, and from here you can make an appeal, you can start your appeal, you can file for exemptions, you can make an appointment, you can sign up for our newsletter, which is what you want to do. That's the fourth option down, by the way. That will keep you as up to date as humanly possible. You do all kind of things from our Linktree account. So again, all you have to do is open up the camera app, hover over the QR code, and click the link. If you want to make an in-person appointment, you can do that as well. Our downtown location, 118 North Clark. Our Markham Courthouse location, 16501 South Kedzie. Our Skokie Courthouse location, 5600 West Old Orchard Road, room 149. And now recently open, as of Monday, our Bridgeview Courthouse location, 10220 South 76th Avenue, room 205. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and we are going to jump into the Q&As. Let's go. Oh, we have a lot. Okay. Let's see. Let me scroll down. Okay, so we have a. All right, Patricia Fernandez. This is a YouTube question, so this is worth 20 points. If I moved in, I'm assuming to your property in May 2022, is it too early to apply for this year? It depends. That is a loaded question. Here's why. So the law doesn't say that you need to own and occupy that property as of January 1 of 2022. It says the property must be owner occupied, which means if you bought it off of someone and they were the owner and they owned and occupied it January 1, you absolutely can apply for that exemption. However, if that is not the case, no, you cannot. So if you did buy the property and it was owner occupied, all you have to do is bring your closing documentation in, and then you can apply for the homeowner exemption based on the fact that it was owner occupied before you moved in. Hope that helps. Another YouTube, 20 points. Mariana de Jesus says, I'm buying a house in May. The house has no homeowner exemption. When can I apply for the homeowner exemption? Exact same situation, Mariana. So if you're buying it from the owner and it was owner occupied January 1 for 2022 or for 2023, you can apply next year. If it is not owner occupied and you buy it in 2023, you will have to wait till 2025 before you can apply for the 2024 exemption. Hope that helps. Andrea Peck says, I completed your online form. Then I received in the mail another form that seems to be specifically for senior freezes. Do I need to complete both forms? No, great question, Andrea. If you have already applied online, you have nothing to do. You can throw that application out and don't even worry about it. As long as you apply it online, you are good. Patricia, YouTube is killing it today. Let's go. Patricia Fernandez says, are there reasons for why people are denied property tax exemptions if they own a home? Absolutely. So one of the big reasons why someone who owns the property might not receive the exemptions because they own more than one property and they're getting exemptions on more than one property, right? The other reason why someone might be denied for their exemption is they just don't qualify. Each exemption, there are very unique qualifications for them, and you have to meet every single one. So, hope that helps. Dang, we got a lot of YouTube. So, if I bought a home sometime during 2022 that did not have a homeowner's exemption, I would not be able to apply for that exemption. So, again, if you bought a property in 2022 that was owner occupied on January 1, that property qualifies for the exemption. If it was not owner occupied, you do not qualify. You will have to wait till next year. What else we got? Nina Cuevas says, hi, can a veteran who purchased in August of 2022 apply this year for the veteran exemption? Great question, Nina. I'm assuming you're a disabled veteran, qualify for the exemption even though they bought in August? Absolutely. However, only so that exemption will be prorated depending on when they bought and owned the property, right? Only way your exemption will be 100% is if you own and occupied the property January 1 of the taxable year. So this year, or for 2022, sorry, if they bought it in the middle of the year, it would be prorated. Andrea says, how long does it take to receive that confirmation page after submitting the form online? Andrea, I would say give yourself between 24 and 48 hours. If you do not receive anything back from our office on that, just contact us and we'll look it up, make sure everything's good. We already did that one. These are good questions. Amanda says, how long after we submit for an exemption will we hear about whether so when you apply for your exemption, you'll get a confirmation email, and then from there you'll be aware. You'll actually have your filing ID number. Then I don't have my presentation up again, but there's a filing ID number. When you get your confirmation, you just contact us with that filing ID and say, hey guys, here's my number. Was it accepted? Was it not? What's happening? We can definitely help you out with that. Let's see how we're looking down here. Oh, that was the last. Oh, that's why we don't have a lot of questions, because we have Michelle in here, and just Michelle. Yeah, we have Michelle in here killing these questions. So first of all, big shout out to the Civic Engagement Department. We have a new name, ladies and gentlemen. So shout out to Teresa Chandler, shout out to Michelle, shout out to Ms. Gail, to Lupe, to Kelvin, to everybody who's here answering these questions. This is not a one-man show by any means. I know it looks like that, but if you can see it on my end, everybody's down here answering these questions. So we love you guys. Thank you guys for having us. We have another question. Hello, how long does it take for the assessor's office to update the name and address on the deed? Great question. That is not something our office does. Great question. So I know you're not asking this question, but you kind of are, so I'm going to answer it anyway. So first of all, when you buy property, if it's not done immediately, to change the name on the tax bill, I know that wasn't your question, but it might be later. You want to contact the Cook County Treasurer's Office to change the name on the bill. To actually change the name on the deed, you want to contact the deed or the clerk's office, however that little flow chart goes, and you want to contact them directly. Our office has nothing to do with that. All right, so it looks like we don't have any more questions. Thank you guys for your time. I'm a little under the weather today, so I appreciate you hanging in there with me. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys. You literally could be anywhere else in the world doing anything else, but you're here with me. I know it's dinner time. So please enjoy your food, be safe, enjoy the kind of beautiful weather, and we love you guys. Oh, we have one more question. Marge says, I've always gone to Lyons Township Assessor Office to file the senior freeze. Can I still do this? Absolutely. Please take advantage of your Township Assessor offices, right? That's what they're there for. They're kind of like the middleman. They don't work for us, but they're kind of like the middleman. So taxpayers go to them, and then they're kind of like your advocate, your liaison for our office. So again, thank you so much. Appreciate you guys' time. You guys have a great day. See you guys next time.